Hello everyone, this is Peter Deswood. I've had people ask me to explain the new stimulus check that was passed recently, the third stimulus check. So I'll go through and explain what's going on. And also, I'll put a calculator where you can put in some of your information and you can calculate estimate how much you're going to get back. Okay, so it's expected to be sent out or deposited into your accounts towards the end of this month. So it is March. Again, it's 1.9 trillion in COVID relief. So it's $1,400 per person, including dependents, even if they're adults, which is different than the previous two that had to be dependents under 18. So an example, if you a couple, meaning joint filers, if you have two dependents, then you can get $5,600. So basically, it's however many people are on your taxes in 2019, it'll be times 1,400. Even if you change and file 2020 and however many dependents you have, they're going to just multiply that times 4. Okay, so there are some eligibility requirements. Okay, so individuals who earn $80,000 a year of adjusted gross income. Okay, so there's some there's limits on this. Okay, so also, well, what happens is I think at 75,000, then it starts to phase out as you get to 80,000, and likewise that's for a single filer. If you're also for there's a phase out as well for head of household, which it's 120,000, and then for couples or married, it phases out. It ends at 160. Okay, so at 150 it starts to decrease, but up to 150 or 150 and below, then it's the 1,400 times however many dependents, including the adults, and then the actually all dependents. So which is different from the previous two stimulus checks. Okay. Now, just take a look at, like I said, I'll put a calculator on there, and you can figure that out. So, some other important things, it says within as early as next week, some places I've seen it. By the way, you can Google all of this news. I do follow some sites on YouTube and, of course, CNN and MSN Money. Sites like that, you can look and find out more of these details. Okay, this information is made to the public out there. All right, so now if you think about it and you compare that to the previous two, the big difference was 18 and older, meaning adult dependents. I know some people care for their elderly parents, or they may have an adult child that may be disabled. Okay, that includes it as anyone that's a dependent. That's what is included in there. Okay. Now, just to make clear, I mean, if you haven't received your stimulus checks as well for the first and the second on your 2020 taxes, you can reclaim that. Okay, that whenever you go through, unless you owe money, right? unless you owe taxes, they'll deduct however much you owe. But if you don't owe anything, that's $1,200, or that $600 will be added to your refund. Okay, but if you owe money, like you had no taxes withheld, then they'll take the difference of that. Okay, so keep that in mind. Now, some of the people that are excluded are undocumented immigrants who do not have social security numbers. Okay, they still remain ineligible. All right. Now, if they are a spouse, right, if their spouse is a U.S. citizen, as long as they have a social security number. Okay, so keep that in mind. So a lot of people have been asking me, well, do I have to pay this back? Well, it's a credit. Okay, it goes in as a credit. All right, so that doesn't impact you. And then those individuals that are Navajo that listen to this, the Navajo Nation CARES checks that were sent out from the Navajo Nation, those won't be included on your federal income tax. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Let me look at some other stuff. I'm trying to look at my notes to make sure I covered everything. Okay, so I've also had people asking me about can I change my bank? I haven't filed. Well, the quickest way to do it is to file your taxes. The quickest way to update your information is to file your taxes. There's not a portal for the second round. I know there were a lot of people. In fact, I spoke with someone tonight that said that they filed with a company, and it took them probably 2 or 3 months for them after everybody got theirs. Then they finally got theirs because the money was sent to whatever account they put on their tax filing. Okay, so make sure you file your taxes, and that is something I do. I do file taxes. I've been filing taxes and preparing taxes since 2003, and I teach accounting at 2 community colleges, San Juan College in Farmington, New Mexico, and then Diné College on the Navajo Nation. So a lot of this information, I'm not just talking about it, but I actually work with tax and teach accounting. And I do have a degree in accounting. So, a lot of this is just educating people and educating myself about these concepts. So if you have questions, feel free to text me. My number is 505-330-6853, and I'm still taking clients as well. So if you need your taxes prepared, please text me, and I can help you out. So I do some value added, meaning that I do some additional stuff whenever I file taxes for you. I mean, you can text me as well or call me, and then I can give you a quote for how much it would cost. But I do give a discount to elders and students, college students. Okay, so I do that as well. But let me know. I'm here to help. And one of the things that I talk about is I do help people adjust their W-4. This is something that happens often. People end up owing on their taxes, and I usually say 10 to 15% have. If you're single and maybe you make under $80,000, have about 10 to 15% withheld from taxes. I know that sounds like a lot, but people that withhold less than 10%, they're the ones that end up having to pay back. So there's actually a calculator that you can on the IRS website, and a lot of times your employer, your human resources department can, give you some of the information or give you a link to have you adjust your W-4, because a lot of times, which changed actually, it changed in 2019, or actually this current year, the way they have you, actually it changed 2019 because I had to make my adjustments because I ended up owing, and as far as my wages. But just keep those things in mind, okay? And then, like I said, those are some of the things I talk about, and then I also give input of where people might be able to save and how they might be able to save, like 401ks, IRAs, Roth IRAs, things of that nature. I mean, I don't sell the products or anything, but I recommend for them to look into like a 401k or a 403b. 403b is usually for a nonprofit, and then 401k is usually for a for-profit organization. So that's the value added that I provide. So even whenever you file with me throughout the year, I can guide you and provide that information for you. Okay, again, my name is Peter Deswood, and I just wanted to do this quick video to answer some questions about the stimulus check and then answer some questions about filing taxes. Again, if you need help, text me 505-330-6853. It's so interesting because I do these videos. I've had people text from like Boston and Michigan and Florida and California and Oregon and Washington that will text and ask questions. I can help with the federal stuff, but the state stuff, those are a little bit more state specific, so I really don't talk too much about the state unless you're in New Mexico or Arizona, which I file the majority of my taxes in those two states. So, all right, again, thank you, and hope you have a good day. I'll go on it.